In this video, I'm going to show you how to improve your self-confidence. So let's get started. My name's David Yeabsley and I'm here to help you to stay relevant and of value for the rest of your working career. The whole channel here is designed to help you to future-proof yourself. So if that sounds of interest and you would like more content, well, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we can work together on your future-proof journey. So let's talk about self-esteem. Before we sort of start that, we need to perhaps talk about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is where you sit there perhaps with a group of people and think, oh, I'm not worthy, or I'm not really sure why I'm here, I'm not really good enough. Now, it's fair to say, with all the hundreds and hundreds of coaching conversations I've had with people in the past, I would say well over 95% have involved this subject of imposter syndrome, building self-esteem, developing your self-confidence, and coming outside of our comfort zones. Now, that doesn't matter who I've been coaching, whatever level they are within the organisation, from chief execs to managing directors to all people at all different types of levels of an organisation. It's an issue for some reason that we all suffer from, and we don't really get taught this at school. So I'm going to help out here. So the first thing I want to show you is this is a couple of slides, and the first slide I want to show you is this slide I'm just showing you now on imposter syndrome. Now, it's a really important slide because in the blue, this is the amount of people who get imposter syndrome, as I've already described. Okay, so they're the blue ones. The green is for other people who also get imposter syndrome. So that's the green. And yes, the orange is for absolutely everyone else. They also get imposter syndrome. Everyone gets it, and it's okay. But what we do need to do is learn how to manage it. And that's what this video is about. It's giving you some tips and hints on how to manage your self-confidence and to get rid of your imposter syndrome. You are worthy. You are good enough. You've just got to let your brain realise that. Okay, so this slide here is just covering some questions I would encourage you to ask yourself on a very regular basis. Because before we can build our confidence, we need to build our self-esteem. Self-esteem is Latin for how we estimate ourselves. But the trouble is, we're often thinking about the negatives of ourselves, what we're not good at, what we, why we can't do certain things, instead of actually spending a bit more time realising what we can do at. So we have to build our self-esteem before we can build our confidence. It's like going to the gym, learning to do press-ups, or perhaps going running, learning to run a 6K or a 10K race, or even something larger. Perhaps learning to cook, playing a musical instrument, or learning to sing. You have to work hard at this, and it's really important. So get a notebook, and at the back of the notebook, just put self-esteem ideas. And the first question to ask yourself, recently, what's gone well? So come on, there must be certain things that have gone well that you can jot down and make some notes on. The second one is, what have I learnt about myself? So where have you been? Who have you met? What have you had to do? What can you do now that you couldn't do previously? But because we don't very often spend time to reflect on these things, we don't realise that we're learning and growing and that we are good at certain things. It's because we just don't reflect on it. So make these notes in the back of your notebook. What can I do that I couldn't do 12 months ago? Perhaps you've taken on new responsibilities at work. Perhaps you've taken on a new job. Perhaps you've got involved in new projects, or perhaps there's things outside of work, perhaps, things that you've had to learn to deal with, perhaps different situations that you can look back and say, yeah, I couldn't do that 12 months ago, but I can now. What new experiences have I had? Now, this is the key area of how human beings grow and develop, by realising that we learn from having experiences. But if we don't reflect on them, we're not going to boost our self-esteem. So jot down all the different experiences you've had. There again, inside of work, perhaps meetings, perhaps been involved in video conferencing that you didn't really fancy doing, leading a meeting, leading a presentation, leading a project, delivering some difficult news to perhaps a client or a senior manager. It can be all sorts of things. Be creative with this. But these are the new experiences you've had. Jot them down. What tough situations have I dealt with? Now, life isn't always easy. And sometimes we suffer loss. We suffer difficulties. But yes, we have had those and they weren't particularly nice. But I think quite often you can look back and go, yeah, but I dealt with it pretty well. And I think that's a big pat on your back. So write down what tough situations you've dealt with. This there again is a very important area to develop your self-esteem. And have I been dealt a difficult hand, but I managed it well? So yeah, it could be also anything in your life where perhaps, that was a stroke of bad luck, but I've dealt with it. And perhaps, you didn't deserve to be dealt that difficult hand, but you've dealt with it. There again, this should boost your self-esteem. And they're really important things to write down. And you should do this on a regular occasion. If you're new into a job or a different company, you should be writing this on a weekly basis. And then perhaps on a monthly basis. And if you can link it into any coaching you get at work, or perhaps any appraisals or performance development reviews, please start answering these questions to yourself. You don't have to share them with other people, but they're there for you. So this next slide is about building self-confidence. And in a nutshell, well, if I've done it before, I can do it again. I've learnt new things before. I can learn more things. I've been outside my comfort zone. I can do it again. I've been dealt a difficult hand. I can deal with it again. Because I've learnt from my experiences, and this should boost our confidence. And this is how I've personally managed my career. I left school with 1 level in 1982. I really wasn't particularly, well, I did try hard at school, but I really didn't get it. We had GCSE stroke O levels. But yeah, I just, the teachers never wrote home and said he could try harder. I did try hard, I just didn't get it. But I've been brilliant at learning from my experiences, and I use this a lot. And there's a couple here that I just want to share with you, a couple of recent ones. So outside of work, this is a picture of me cycling up the Stelvio Pass. Now, this is a mountain range that goes from Italy to Switzerland, and I did it in 2019 in June, and I started at the bottom on my little bicycle, and I cycled and I cycled, and about 2.5 hours later I got to the top. A bit chilly at the top, and you can just about see a person on the straight bit of the road there. That's me. My wife is taking this picture. She came with me for the day to give me some support and say, come on, hurry up, get a bit quicker. But doing that gave me a lot of confidence. But the reason I was confident in doing this on my own is because a few years before I'd been to the French Alps, and I'd learned to cycle up some pretty big mountains. The first one I ever did was a mountain called Alpe d'Huez. It's quite a famous ski resort as well. We started at the bottom and just gradually got the pace and finally got to the top. So I feel very comfortable and confident doing this. But the first time I was nervous as anything, really nervous. This is a professional one. This is me talking at a conference, which I've done lots of, so why should it be such a big deal? But this is also in 2019, because I'm actually doing 5 minutes of stand-up comedy. And as my son would tell everybody, but Dad, you're just not funny. And you can go on my YouTube site and find this video, and I was very, very nervous, especially for the first 60 to 70 seconds, because nobody laughed. And it's not that I want to be a stand-up comedian, I just thought it'd be a really good test to test myself. And it built my self-esteem and confidence, and I got some quite interesting and amazing comments afterwards, because the stand-up that I did was a bit of a risk, but yeah, it went really well. If in doubt, give things a go, which is always my challenge. So there's 2 examples where I'm practicing what I'm preaching here, and I'm always looking at ways of coming outside my comfort zone, because if I come outside my comfort zone gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Yes, we all get imposter syndrome, but we can manage it. we can then develop our self-esteem. We can grow our confidence and be more comfortable about taking on more comfort zone challenges. So building your comfort zone and having comfort zone challenges, start collecting them. This is what I do. Start collecting your comfort zone challenges and watch yourself grow. It takes practice. It's like going to the gym. It's like learning to cook. It's like learning and practicing yoga or meditation or reading on a regular basis. Give it a go. So I hope you like this video, and it'll give you the opportunity to make some notes in the back of your notebook with regards to you can reflect on, and it'll give you hopefully the confidence to go and try new things. If in doubt, give it a go and learn from your experiences, and please collect comfort zone challenges. Enjoy your journey and enjoy your new experiences.